Welcome to the Meta Lifestyle Magazine. Today is our day that we have decided to celebrate, as you could see. Nandini, here's to us.
Yes, to us.
I gotta say to us because exactly 3 months ago, I walked into this fabulous studio and all I could think about was, how can I do this? I love this. I want this. What can I do to enhance as part of the magazine, to take it to the next level where we go from, what do we call a flat 1D, 2D to 3D. And so here we are. And we had some fabulous people on this show since. So we were able to bring in people that were in the magazine. Of course, last week we were able to interview all of our features. And we've also been able to interview some of our writers and their articles and how they're impacting the world with their message or products, because we had like Inga that came with the, what was it?
The allergy
kit. And so I want to say solutions to our everyday issues, and it could be anything, and we all are looking for different things at different times in our life. So I hope you enjoyed most of the series. And it's obviously never over, because with me, it's never over.
We're just taking it to the next level. But I just want to just recap on some of the amazing guests that we had in the studio. You know, under the holistic umbrella, we had Gina Kearney from Herbs and Owls. She's a fabulous herbalist, so check her out, Herbs and Owls in Jupiter. And we had Dr. Love.
Dr. Love is
Dr.
a great
Love.
episode.
He's, the Chinese medicine and natural forms of healing. He was very interesting and amazing information shared. We had Inga, as Karina just mentioned, with the allergy kit.
Oh, what about the gratitude fruit punch?
Oh, yes. We had Vismaya
did
Rubin.
an excellent job with that, didn't she?
Gratitude fruit
If
punch,
you have
yes.
missed any of the episodes, they're still out there on YouTube. Please, and even on Facebook, go back and just look at them, because there was so much valuable information
for
that
sure.
each person brought to the table that helped us also expand, because I learned a lot in many of those episodes. So definitely go back and get back to that.
Yeah, and the ones that were really interesting were when we had the young entrepreneurs. We had two shows with the young entrepreneurs, and we worry sometimes, us older folk, we worry sometimes about the state of the world, what is going to happen. And when you speak to these young people, when you speak to these young entrepreneurs, it really eases your mind. You think, you know what? We're in good hands.
They're fine.
Yeah, they are good.
I have two of them in my house. Well, not in my house, but and I had to learn firsthand what it's like to interact with millennials, and their mindset is so different because they, thank goodness, whatever we're still carrying with us from whatever the depression and all of those 50s, 60s coming into this space. Well, not even. It goes even further than that. It goes back to the 20s and all of that. All of that residual is kind of finishing up right now. So this new generation, so it's kind of ending with us. And because we kind of in between, I call us the transitional age group. Like we went from, there you go, my age, black and white TV to this.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything here. And that's the most amazing part to me. So trying to reason with kids or the way it used to be, well, even our parents got to say the way it used to be, because my mom tells me stories of where they used to listen to the radio. They didn't even have TV. And imagine them before them. So it's about us to accept them for who they are, and for the technology has allowed them to come back with what we did not. We have to learn technology as it evolved. So we're constantly switching and adjusting. They showed up, it's there. That's their life. They don't know anything else.
Anything
so
different.
we cannot expect them to live any other way. This is their life. That's their phone. They figure out that it's not just for play, it's for work, it's for growth, it's for learning. They have figured it out. If it's for business, I mean, they just figure it out.
One thing that I find with this younger generation is that I think with our generation and previous generations, we've been very conditioned. And that conditioning still happens, but I just think that this generation now, the one that we're talking about, they are less susceptible to that conditioning. They truly have their own minds.
They are, and this is where there's a lot of push and pull right here, because again, it's all depending to the parents, at what mindset the parents are. So we still have the parents that want the status quo. Go to school, get a degree, get a good job, you're going to do for the next 50 years of your life. Get married, have the kids, the white picket fence, blah, 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 blah. And the kids are saying, no way, look at you. You're not the example of what I want to follow, which is true. Kids don't learn from what we say. They learn from what they see. They mimic us. So if there's anything you want them to accomplish, you better be the one accomplishing it first. It's got to start with you, because it's not what you say. And we grew up in that household. Kids need to be seen and not heard and be quiet and just follow the rules. And then we spend our whole life trying to please our parents. God forgive us. But anyway.
Yeah, but you're right. The kids now, they recognize that, they have to forge their own path. We had one of the guys in the studio, and he was saying, what?
Yes.
Your generation is the last generation that was able to unionize. Your
Right.
generation is the last generation that could think about a pension at the end of your working life. These things are not available to us, so we have to see things very, very differently.
Yes.
And, they're not seeing the gig economy as something that holds them back. It was just amazing to see these talented, bright individuals saying, this is going to make me. I am going to use this to do good things in my life,
And I've written of this topic many times, because obviously I'm very attached and very committed to that age group, obviously because of my own kids. And what I was just saying earlier before the show started was I was able to create my life around my kids, because I kind of wanted to be a stay-at-home mom without really being a stay-at-home mom. So I was able to create all my work, all my passion around the kids, so that I was still available to them. So, of course, I started out with, a dance studio. Where do you think they're going to take dance? With mommy, and I became the dance teacher at school. So all day they see me. We went to school together. We came home together. I was beyond a helicopter mom. I'm what they call now a drone mom. I'm like hovering a little bit too low here. But then there's a moment when they come into their own, and the hand goes up and they say, boundaries, mom, back off. And it's like, oops, okay, it's time for me to back off. So pretty much around 18, 19, I had to tell them, this was a great journey. Thank you so much for the lesson. Because to me, it was a lesson for me, not just in parenting, but on my own personal development. I truly believe that as souls, we chose our parents. We choose our parents because we're here to evolve and what I call enhance and expand humanity and Christ consciousness. So on that note, I had to figure out how can I fit all of this in. So I chose my parents. So I had to go through what did I learn from them? What did I get out of that? And then when I thought I had figured it all out, I had kids. And they become the other side of my knowledge. They became another part of my challenge. And what I realized is whatever was not resolved with my parent relationship, my kids brought it back to me for me to resolve now as a parent myself. So it was an amazing learning journey for me. But at like 18, 19, I said, I've done it all. I've given you shelter. I've given you education. I've given you home and food and love and affection and all of that fun stuff. You're on your own now. And with that, I mean, I am there to be their
Well, you're always there for them, their support.
I'm always there. I'm the
Yes.
cheerleader, of course. I'm the cheerleader. But now I don't jump in as the drone mom that I used to be. Now I ask if they come to me with any issue. There's only two questions. Do you need me to get involved or not? I love getting involved. I'm not going to say no. But if they say, no, I got it, I'm like, alrighty, I'm here. I'm here if you need me. So I had to learn to step back. And many parents don't know when it's
How
time
to
to
do
step
that,
back.
yes.
And these kids are amazing. And there's so much stuff about the millennials. They're lazy. They're this. I beg to differ. I'm telling you, these kids are clever. They're smart. They already figure it out. They're all business minded. They're focused. They already know what they want. It's just that they're going to do it their way, not our way. And we want them to do it our way. Cannot be. We live in a different world. We live, just the fact that technology is evolving so fast and they get it and they're on it. We're the transitional generation, so we're still catching up each time we're catching up. They're already in it. They're just zooming by with that. Isn't that amazing? And I want to segue on that story that we had this weekend. And a girlfriend of mine in Philadelphia, she is taking in short period for a month or so the kids that were left at the border and are still figuring out how they're going to get into the country or even just get back with their family. They're kind of lost. And we were having this conversation, the four of us, the three of us, and she's doing that. And Nandini here writes children's book with a conscious direction for understanding nature and healing and self-healing health and stuff like that. And we came to the most amazing, I think is the most amazing idea that came out of this. Go ahead. I'm going to let you take it over from here.
It's just a way because remember these children, there's a language barrier. They're separated from their families. They're really scared and alone. And what heals us the most? It's nature. Nature heals us the most. And, if you have a story that you can share with children, of course, like reading bedtime stories or just reading at any time of the day with children is so beneficial for them. And when children feel abandoned like that, I think, of course I'm biased, but I think if you speak to them about the natural world, that is very healing in itself. So we came up with this idea.
And it's also very inclusive because we all get to experience nature in exactly the same way.
Exactly.
Like no one has any extra difference.
And so we came up with this idea of being able to provide these children with this book. If you have listened to the past episodes of this TV show, you would have heard me speaking about my children's book, which is based on a device that's called The Music of the Plants. So it's not just a story, it's introducing children to something that's very real. This device that connects you with nature, with the music in nature. And I think a lot of people say that when we are very young, as children, we have this natural connection, and that gets conditioned out of us. Some of us may be able to remember being able to speak to the nature spirits and stuff like that, even seeing nature spirits. There are some people who say they've had this experience and they remember it, but most of us are conditioned out of that. We are told that is fairy tale, that is not real. Go to school now and learn about the real world. So I think it's a fabulous idea. I hope it's something that we are successful with, to be able to get the funding, to be able to share this message and other valuable messages with these children who really need a lot of attention and a lot of love before they are reunited with their families here in America.
And it's the sad part is for them, this is going to be a very traumatic part of their life experience, the sense of abandonment. But the interesting thing is many of us have abandonment issues. We've all been abandoned in one way or the other. And abandonment isn't always about being separated from someone. Sometimes it's just being disconnected, people not listening to you, not paying attention, not giving you, any just acknowledging who you are as a person, that also could feel like abandonment, and that takes off, in some very, very weird places. But anyway, before we go on, we're going to take a very short commercial break, and we'll be right back. And welcome back. And we have a caller online, and I'm very excited to hear. Are we ready? Can you hear us? Hello?
I guess you can't hear me. I don't know what to do about that.
We can hear you.
I can hear you now. Can you hear us?
Oh, hello. Yes, I can. Congratulations.
Thank you. And we have Miss Nancy Matthews online. This Miss Nancy Matthews, who was on the first cover of our magazine. Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, and I am so grateful for what you have created and brought out into the space with your show, your magazine, and all you're doing for Meta Lifestyle. Yay!
Yay! As you can see, maybe you're not seeing, but we're having a little celebration with our champagne here, and I'm not going to tell you what this lady is drinking. But yes, so thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you for the years that I've known you, for the coaching and mentoring you've done over the years, and definitely a testimonial to part of not only me being here, but so many other people that I've met over the years since I moved to Florida has come through WPN, Women's Prosperity Network. So thank you, and thank you.
I would just like to say,
you are welcome.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, Nancy, that it was such a delight interviewing you for the very first cover feature of the magazine. And what gives me real delight is seeing women, paving the way for other women to succeed in life. We discussed it on, one of the last shows that we did where, you're actually working with your sisters. So it's a family thing. You've created Women's Prosperity Network to help lift other women up in life. It's such a beautiful thing that you're doing. And I just wanted to say thank you again, for agreeing to be our very first cover feature. And thank you again for the valuable work that you're doing.
You are most welcome. And I must tell you, Nandini, that interview was phenomenal, and how you wrote the story and brought it out and shared my story. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that. Like, you did such a good job.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I would hope so, because, I am a writer by profession. So I would hope that it was a good job. But it's very, very nice to hear you say that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
welcome.
Nancy.
Well, best of success.
Thank you again. Thanks for coming on and just celebrating with us today. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Cheers to you. I'm raising a glass of water. I don't have the champagne with you, but cheers.
Cheers, Nancy.
Cheers. Bye, Nancy. And again, if you have not seen any of our covers, and we have 3 issues out already, just go to metalifestylemagazine.com, and it's filled with articles and information, and it's just a wealth of information.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to my channel Dr. Karina Felix for more videos.